Imagine a man sitting at a table made of citrus wood and ivory. The table alone costs more than a Roman soldier earns in a lifetime. Around him are 500 tables just like it. He is surrounded by gold, by servants, by power. He dips his pen into the ink and he writes a sentence about poverty. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. You might laugh. You might call him a fraud, a hypocrite, a liar. How dare he? How can the richest man in Rome teach us about having nothing? This is the story of Lucius Annaeus Seneca, the man who owned the world, but spent every single day preparing to lose it. Rome, 1st century AD. Seneca wasn't just a philosopher. He was the imperial advisor to Nero. He was the investment banker of the ancient world. He owned vineyards in Italy and estates in Egypt. His critics, and he had many, would whisper in the streets, "Look at him. He preaches about simple living, yet he hosts banquets that would make a king blush." And they were right. On the surface, the contradiction was sickening. But they didn't see what happened behind closed doors. While Rome celebrated the festival of Saturnalia, while the city was drunk on wine and gluttony, Seneca would quietly disappear into a small, cold room in his mansion. He would take off his silk robes. He would put on the rough, scratchy tunic of a slave. He would refuse the feast prepared by his chefs. Instead, he would eat a piece of hard, stale bread. He would drink lukewarm water from a dog's bowl. For days, he would live like a beggar inside his own palace.
How much longer
Why?
remains?
Was he punishing himself? No. He was training. He would look at his meager meal, feel the cold floor against his skin, and ask himself the most important question a human being can ask. Is this the condition I feared so much? You see, Seneca understood a dangerous truth about wealth. He knew that comfort is a slow poison. It makes you soft. It makes you terrified of losing it. The more you own, the more the things own you. He wrote to his friend Lucilius, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, asking yourself meanwhile, is this what I used to dread?" He wasn't a hypocrite. He was a spy behind enemy lines. He lived inside the belly of the beast, proving that a man could be surrounded by gold, and yet remain untouched by it. But eventually, the practice test ended, and the real exam began. Year 65 AD. The Emperor Nero, the boy Seneca had raised, taught, and protected, turned into a monster. Paranoid and bloodthirsty, Nero sent a centurion to Seneca's dinner table with a simple order: die. This was the moment. This was the moment where the hypocrites are exposed. A fake philosopher would have begged. He would have offered all his millions to buy just one more day of life. He would have screamed. But Seneca? History tells us he didn't even flinch. He looked at the centurion and simply asked for permission to draft his will. The centurion refused. Seneca turned to his weeping family. His wife was screaming in terror. His friends were tearing their clothes. He smiled calmly and said, "Why are you crying? Where is your philosophy? Where is the reason we have sharpened for so many years against the cruelty of life?" He didn't cling to his wealth. He didn't cling to his power. He didn't even cling to his body. He opened his veins with the steady hand of a surgeon. As the blood flowed out, so did the final proof of his teachings. He was never the owner of his fortune. He was merely the custodian. And when fate asked for it back, He returned it without a single complaint. So, what does the billionaire philosopher teach us today? You might not have a palace, you might not have millions in the bank, but you are rich. Compared to your ancestors, your hot shower is a miracle. Your full fridge is a kingdom. Your smartphone is a superpower. But ask yourself, can you lose it? If the internet vanished tomorrow, if your bank account went to zero, if you lost your title, would you crumble? Seneca teaches us that there is nothing wrong with wealth. There is nothing wrong with nice things. The crime is thinking they belong to you. Here is your challenge for this week. Don't just read about Stoicism, practice it. Take a cold shower. Fast for 24 hours. Sleep on the floor for one night. Not to suffer, but to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your comforts. To look at the worst-case scenario and realize, I can handle this. Because the only true wealth is the wealth you cannot lose in a shipwreck. It is the fortress inside your mind.